Good afternoon, my name is Omkar, welcoming you to Yuva Sitare, right here on Sankhya TV, the first Hindu TV station in Trinidad and Tobago, and your number one choice for inspirational, cultural, and spiritual programming. On today's episode, I sit with the youth of Digicel Trinidad to find out a little bit more about the Bache Kande.
So, essentially, what Bache Kande means is the children's chapter. It gives us, as children, an opportunity to voice our opinions to the public. Bache Kande started at just a backyard 7 years ago at our old home. And since then, we've grown to organizations such as SAPA to perform. The current leader of Bache Kande and teacher is Pandit Christian Ramdi.
Bache Kande is an exceptional program, to say the least. It teaches us so many values that you probably cannot list on a page, such as we must always be determined, we must always work hard. But we can't just work hard by ourselves. It teaches us teamwork, that a group works better than just one individual. One individual can't prosper without good company. It teaches us the value of good company. It teaches us that we must always be honest and we must always practice. So it goes back to dedication. It goes back to something that you must always have goals to look forward to, and you must always have a standard that we try to set and that we always meet, if not exceed all the expectations that are set for us.
So at the Diwali Nagar, we'll be talking about on September 22nd, 6:30 to 9 p.m. about a tribute to Ma. So essentially what we're talking about is the different types of devotions and a very good storyline that you'll want to come and hear. There'll be 10 Vyas reading from the Devi Bhagavad Puran, and there'll be about 20 or 30 other children supporting us in this motion. Supporting as in whether it be playing a majira or a little child playing a drum or singing into the microphone. There are several roles that they could take part in to help us in this. We put aside several days of the week and persevered so that we could perfect our speaking and music, such as on every Monday during the vacation, we would sacrifice that time to improve our singing skills. And different days such as Fridays and Saturdays, we'd have group discussions and talk about the different meanings and what our perspective was on these topics.
I'm also speaking together with my brothers and sisters in Dharma Vyas. Pandit Christian brought to us different ideas, and when we sat together during a meeting, all of us gave our opinions and our perspectives on it, and then from a large piece of kata, we brought it down into smaller parts where we could focus on certain ideas and bring out more relevant topics towards our audience. We broke up our story into different parts, and then, as homework, we would go home and we would research what our story meant, and there were underlying themes in different parts of the story that we were supposed to bring out and share the values that are taught. All of us, we divided the kata into about 20 parts. And then there's 10 of us. So 20 divided by 10 is 2. So each of us have 2 parts to say. And when we go home, we will be able to focus on these 2 parts alone, and then we could also focus on the other parts and give our ideas and opinions on the entire kata And then as we continued every week, we would divide ourselves and we would assign different parts of the kata to certain people. We would sit in a semicircle, or well, a circle, and Babs would be on one side. And we would go around the circle and we present our parts. And after everyone presents, there would be a minute or two that everyone gives constructive criticism where we could change something or we could add something else to make the kata more complete. The process was very fun. It did not take a lot of time because everyone did their homework very well, and that all the ideas that came about were relevant and important, and I think that everyone should attend the Nagar on the 22nd to listen to what we have to say.
So as Keshav previously mentioned, this year the theme is Tribute to Ma, Tribute to Mother. And so we chose the scripture Srimad Devi Bhagavad Puran because there's a storyline in there that really shows the love and guidance of a mother to her child.
My name is Christian Samuel.
Where are you from?
I'm from Bokaro, Freeport.
And how long are you with the Bache Kande?
It is my first year.
First year?
Yeah.
Okay. And so what you doing on the night of any Nagar site? What you doing?
I'm singing mostly. Songs to the goddess mother, like Ambe, Jagadambe, Kali, and Devi songs.
Okay. And well, I heard you singing inside. How long you singing? How long now you been singing?
But here,
No, in overall.
overall, like 7 years.
7 years?
Yeah, like since I was like 2 or something. I was like singing like
This
real
night?
young.
Midnight?
10, at 10, 11. Oh God.
Don't worry, only women study age. But okay, so how did you start singing?
How did I start singing?
Yeah. Like your parents sing, you have brothers that sing, sisters that sing.
I don't know.
You just pick it up?
Yeah.
Okay. So where did you start singing? In temple?
No, well, the first time when my grandfather died, I sing first week and thing. So
And from then, where?
then temple, then to more temples, and here.
Okay. And what do you think about being over here and singing over here?
What?
What do you think about it? Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it, like
What do you like about it?
I don't know.
So how you feel when you sing?
I don't know, so.
You don't know? Who in the group?
Well, Kabir is the tabla player, and Nigel is the harmonium player, and he's also sing too. And Varun in the back there, he's the tapu player.
Okay. And what do you think about these guys, how they play?
I think this player like real good. Yeah, thumbs up.
Anybody have any comments about their singing that you want to share?
It's very empowering to be involved in an organization like Isha. I've learned so many things, met so many different people from so many different schools, and I've learned discipline, teamwork, cooperation, and I'm really glad to be involved in it.
Well, it's not only about the singing or doing the practical part, you also gain knowledge from the Christian.
And so what you learn from being in Isha?
Well, I think that the messages that Pandit Christian gives every Sunday is really interesting, and I tend to, at any moment, it has a great impact on me. I think the main thing that I remember is humility. Like, humility tends to come out in basically every message, and every Sunday he would remind us to remain humble in everything that we do. No matter how high up we go, just remain humble.
Well, as today he taught us that confidence is key, but you can't have confidence without clarity, because you can be confident but going down the wrong path.
One benefit is to keep it alive, because youths, they tend to forget the religious way. Us partaking in this, it reminds us that your religion is a big part of your life. It helps you to do the right things and not to go down the wrong path.
Okay, Hinduism teaches you, Hinduism is a way of life. So it teaches you about everything in society and how to react to certain things, and those sort of stuff is just, it's interesting to learn, and yeah.
At this time, please put your hands together as we welcome one of our acharyas, our Kirtan acharyas, Aruna Mahadev, as she presents her very beautiful pravachan this morning. Aruna ji.
Sitaram, we all know that it's wrong to judge others, right? Well, I disagree. While we shouldn't judge others based on outward appearances, we must learn to examine their actions and behavior rather than their words and looks. When we can recognize the true intentions of a person, only then will we be able to find the hidden truth. This reminds me of an episode in the Ramayana when Ravan had kidnapped Sita Devi. How did he manage to do this? He had cleverly disguised himself as an old beggar and asked Devi Sita for some food. In her pity for him, she was unable to see who he truly was and stepped out of the circle that Lakshman had drawn as a protective barrier. At that moment, he seized her hand, revealed his true Rakshas form, and took her away. This episode, devotees, teaches us that we shouldn't focus on the outside, but learn to look deeper within. Just as a jeweler has a sharp eye and will know diamond from glass, we should be able to look beneath the surface. Many years ago, there was a very rich man who was invited by the king to have dinner in the palace. This evening, however, this man purposefully approached the palace gates dressed in rags. He entered the royal dining room and took his seat at the table. When the king and his ministers did not recognize the rich man, they began to taunt. "Oh beggar, what are you doing here? Why are you in this beautiful palace dressed in rags? Leave now." The man did as he was told and left the palace. However, later that evening, the same man adorned himself in the finest of robes and returned to the palace. Not realizing that this was the same beggar from before, the king invited him to sit while dinner was being served. Just then, the rich man began to smear his clothes, his expensive clothes, with his food. The king was stunned. "What are you doing?" To this, the rich man responded, "Earlier today, I came dressed as a beggar, and you turned me away. And now that I am dressed in expensive robes, you accepted me into your palace. I thought that you probably wanted to feed my clothes, not me. Devotees, we must learn from this that it is wrong to make assumptions like the king without looking beneath the surface, because looks can be deceiving. Instead, we must learn to wear the eyes of a jeweler and know the difference between diamond and glass. Sitaram.
Come see us at Bache Kande 2018.